Dear students, in this video lecture, we will discuss the variants of VAT and methods of calculation of VAT in subject Tax Procedure and Practice Paper 2 for class first year BCom semester 2 Veer Narmad South Gujarat University. VAT has three main variants. First is gross product variant, second is income variant, and third is consumption variant. Very first, we will discuss gross product variant. Gross product variant. In case of gross product variant, tax is levied on all the sales which takes place within the states, that is known as intrastate sales. Deduction of VAT on all purchase of raw materials and components, normally we call it as an inputs, are allowed in gross product variant. No deduction is allowed for VAT paid on purchase of capital goods like plant and machinery, and VAT paid on purchase of capital goods will form part of cost of the asset for purpose of computing depreciation. So in gross product variant, VAT is levied on all sales which take place within the states. Normally we call it as an intrastate sales. Further, VAT credit is allowed on all purchase of raw materials and components. Normally we call it as an input. Credit will be allowed while making payment of VAT, but VAT credit on payment of capital goods, that is called plant and machinery, is not allowed in gross product variant, and therefore VAT paid on purchase of plant and machinery will be added in cost of the asset for the purpose of depreciation. The main demerits of the method are working capital gets eroded. It means here our working capital, that is day-to-day requirement of cash, gets eroded. Sufficient money is not available to replace the capital goods because we will have to make more payment of VAT to the government, and product cost increases since it includes element of tax paid on capital goods. So these are some demerits of the method gross product variant. Our second variant is income variant. In case of income variant, VAT is levied on all sales which takes place within the states, and deduction or credit of VAT is allowed as follows. Credit of raw material purchase, normally we call it as input. Input tax credit is available in full, same as in gross product variant. It means VAT paid on purchase of raw material will be allowed as an input tax credit for the calculation of net VAT payable to the government. But credit of capital goods is allowed to the extent of depreciation only. In gross product variant, no credit was allowed on capital goods, but in income variant, input tax credit is allowed to the extent of depreciation on that assets. Here are few demerits of the method. There are different methods of calculation of depreciation. Straight line method, reducing balance method. Which method will be benefited to the company or a firm is not fixed. Then life of all capital goods are not same, and a uniform depreciation formula cannot be prescribed for all the business. So these are some demerits of the variant income. Our third variant is a consumption variant. In this variant, tax is levied on all sales which takes place within the boundary of the state. Normally we call as an intrastate sales. And VAT credit is allowed as on raw material purchase 100% credit is allowed. Whatsoever VAT paid while purchasing raw material, normally we call it as an input, 100% credit is allowed for calculating net VAT payable to the government. And credit of capital goods, again it is also 100% available in full. In gross product variant, no credit was available on capital goods. On income variant, credit on capital goods was available to the extent of depreciation amount only, but in consumption variant, input tax credit of capital good is allowed 100%. Okay, and here are the merits of the method. 100% credit is available on both raw material and capital goods. Number 2, no classification dispute whether it is a capital goods or a raw material, because credit is available on both, that is also 100%. And owing to plentiful credit availability, erosion on working capital is minimal as compared to the first two methods. Here we will make a savings of working capital. Okay, and next, sufficient fund will be available for the replacement of plant and machinery, because we have benefit of 100% credit of tax paid on capital goods. And last point of merit, there will be substantial drop in production cost due to credit availability. The product cost will decrease. Okay, so these are the merits of the method consumption variant. Like this, we have three variants of VAT. First is a gross product variant, second is an income variant, and third is a consumption variant. Now we will see the methods of computation of VAT. There are three methods for computation of VAT. First is addition method, second is invoice method, and third is subtraction method. Dear students, in this video lecture we will discuss first two methods for computation of VAT. First is addition method. Let us understand the addition method by taking one example. R, as a trader, purchased raw material of rupees 1 lakh excluding VAT of rupees 4,000 and incurred the following manufacturing and trading expenses on raw material. That is, direct and indirect manufacturing expense rupees 80,000, depreciation on assets used for manufacturing activities rupees 10,000, trading expenses rupees 15,000, depreciation on assets used for purpose other than manufacturing rupees 4,000, and finally profit added rupees 20,000. VAT payable on sales is 4%, and we are to compute the tax VAT payable by the following addition method. Dear students, in this method VAT will be payable on value added by the trader on material purchase. Now let us see the calculation for VAT by doing addition method. Here is the calculation of VAT value addition in raw materials purchase. First, direct and indirect manufacturing expense 80,000, depreciation on assets used for manufacturing activities 10,000, trading expense 15,000, depreciation other than manufacturing assets 4,000, and finally profit added rupees 20,000. So total value addition in raw material amounts to rupees 1,29,000. So finally VAT payable under value addition method amounts to 4% on rupees 1,29,000, that is 5,160. So my dear students, in value addition method or in addition method, VAT is levied only on the value added by the dealer or a manufacturer. And while calculating addition, all direct indirect expenses like wages and salaries, power and electricity, rent, depreciation on capital goods, manufacturing, trading and selling distribution expenses, interest on capital and profit added will be considered as a value addition. So like this, in this particular example, value added came to rupees 1,29,000 and VAT payable at 4% on value addition rupees 1,29,000 amounts to rupees 5,160. That's all. Now we will see the second method of computation of VAT, that is invoice method or a tax credit method. Let us understand this method by taking one example. R, a manufacturer, sells the manufactured goods in Delhi to S, a distributor, for rupees 1 lakh. R was not entitled to VAT credit on the purchase of raw material, as the raw material was not liable for VAT. S, the distributor, sells the same goods to wholesaler T for rupees 1,20,000, which includes freight and other expenses rupees 15,000 and his profit rupees 5,000. Then T sells the same goods to dealer U for rupees 1,30,000 and U sold the same goods to customer V for rupees 1,50,000. So here we have to compute VAT payable at each stage, assuming rate of VAT at each stage is 12.5%. My dear students, here R, the manufacturer, sell goods to S, distributor. S, distributor, sell goods to wholesaler T. T sells goods to U, and finally U sells goods to V. So first we need to understand the transactions which take place between manufacturer to distributor, distributor to wholesaler, wholesaler to retailer, and retailer to end user. Okay, so here I have prepared a statement for calculation of VAT payable at each stage. Let us understand the columns first. First is transaction number, then seller, and next column for buyer. Sales value, VAT percentage, VAT liability on sale, that is sales multiply VAT percentage 12.5. Then VAT credit available on purchase, VAT credit available on purchase, and finally net VAT payable to the government. Our transaction number 1 takes place between R and S. Transaction takes place between R and S. So here R becomes our seller and S becomes our buyer, and the value of good is 1 lakh. So here it is sales value 1 lakh. Our VAT rate is 12.5%. VAT rate 12.5%. So gross VAT payable amounts to 12,500. That is 1 lakh multiply 12.5%. 1 lakh is not liable for VAT credit. So here there will be no credit available to the seller R. So VAT credit is 0. So finally VAT payable 12,500 minus VAT credit 0 is equal to 12,500. Then second transaction is between S and T. Here is S and T, and the selling price is 1,20,000. VAT rate 12.5%. So 12.5% of 1,20,000, gross VAT amounts to 15,000. Okay, and here S is eligible for VAT credit. Here S is eligible for VAT credit paid to R, that is 12,500. So 12,500 will be credit available to S. So finally VAT payable to the government by S amounts to rupees 2500, that is 15,000 minus 12,500. Then third transaction is between T and U, and the transaction value, sales value 1,30,000, VAT rate 12.5%. So gross VAT is 16,250, that is 1,30,000 multiply 12.5% is equal to 16,250. In our second number transaction, T paid 15,000 VAT to S. So here T as a seller is available for credit of rupees 15,000 and credit amounts to 15,000. So net VAT payable to the government by T amounts to 1,250. Okay. Now last transaction is transaction number 4 between U and V. So U is a seller, V is the buyer. Sales value 1,50,000, VAT rate 12.5%. So VAT amount, gross VAT amount 18,750. VAT credit available to U, here it is 16,250. So finally VAT payable by U to government amounts to 2,500. And finally total VAT paid to government amounts to 18,750. That is sum total of 4 amounts: 12,500, 2,500, 1,250 and 2,500. So here it is total VAT paid to government. My dear students, the entire VAT of rupees 18,750 goes from the pocket of end user, that is consumer V. Whatsoever VAT paid by S, T and U as a buyer, they have received back in the form of credit. So ultimately the entire VAT 18,750 is paid by the end user V. Dear students, thank you very much for watching this video lecture. First, you people understand both VAT variants and computation of VAT methods. Take your notes. Very soon we will meet with other examples for calculation of VAT in invoice method, because invoice method or a tax credit method is applicable in practice. Okay, thank you very much.